I ain't gonna lie, like, and I know I get, I love my African audience too, but like, I've always...
Chris Brown mocks Africa after Tyla invites him to join her perfume launch in Africa. Let's dive straight into the video. In recent weeks, a stir on the social media surrounding a controversial accident has been created that included American singer Chris Brown and South African artist Tyla. The situation was revealed when Tyla called Chris Brown for joining her to launch the new perfume line in Africa, what should have been a harmonious and celebration occasion. However, he quickly turned acid after Chris Brown responded to the invitation, which many considered ridicule and rejection towards Africa. This event, which planned to highlight the new Tyla project in the perfume industry, was supposed to be the collaborative celebration of African culture and success. Tyla, who got recognition in her country of origin and internationally, was enthusiastic about the invitation of Chris Brown, known globally, to participate in this occasion. However, what was supposed to be a gesture of the inclusion and respect of her colleague, the artist, rapidly escalated into international controversy and threw shadows on what should have been the moment of celebration. Tyla, whose rise to fame was closely related to her tax, which tops her schemes such as Water and Ovru, was planning to launch her perfume in Africa, with the aim of celebrating the influence of the prosperous continent in the global, entertainment, and lifestyle industries. Many have seen the call to Chris Brown as a step to create a bridge over culture, drawing on its roots in South Africa with the integration of the international call brought by Brown. As a musical colleague who has huge followers, especially in the African market, Brown seemed to be the perfect number to help lift the brand's launch. The idea was to create a strong relationship between African music and business, while presenting the importance of the continent on the world stage. For Tyla, this will be a celebration of its personal success and recognition of the growing influence of Africa in global business. In the Instagram post, Chris Brown seemed to light the invitation, which many people have interpreted as a satirical tone towards Africa. While the exact words were the least attack in itself, the tone and context and handing over its message left many fans and observers. His choice of joking about this event seemed to reject the importance of the Tyla gesture. For some, it seems that Brown was dealing with the call for artistic ignorance, creating the continent and its increasing cultural importance rather than embracing it. Brown's response did not sit well with fans in Africa, especially those who saw this as a reflection of a greater pattern of lack of respect and stereotypes of African culture. The idea that Africa, a continent rich in history, culture, and influence, will turn into a pierced line, not only not respectable, but ignorant. Immediately after Chris Brown's publication, the reverse reaction began. Social media users from Africa and around the world expressed their anger and invited him for his apparent lack of respect towards a continent that has long been marginalized in global talks on music, fashion, and business. Fans and critics alike rushed to point out that his actions contradict the essence of unity and the global appreciation that Tyla sought to promote through their call. Many have moved to Twitter and Instagram to express their dissatisfaction, using retail brands such as #ChrisBrownAfrica and #SpectAfrica to publish their message. Some indicated that Chris Brown's wealth and international fame was partly possible by the African fans base, which has long supported him, making Africa's mockery more worrying. Others suggested that Brown's comments reflect a wider issue than the lack of racist sensitivity, with a lot of questioning whether he would do so. He responded in the same way if he was invited to launch on a different continent. For many Africans, like the accident continues to worrying pattern. Throughout history, Africa has been subjected to a large number of negative stereotypes and often filmed in a narrow, selected way in the Western media. These images usually focus on poverty, war, and disease, leaving the richness and diversity of the cultures and people of the continent. While African music, art, and culture has become an increased influence in the global entertainment industry, the degrading stereotypes still exist. For many African fans, Chris Brown's dismissal for Africa was felt as if it was a reminder of how the continent is often treated as an idea or laziness in Western discourse. The accident sparked a sense of frustration, and many wondered how, in 2025, a person could have a level of Brown's fame and its influence away from the strength and influence of Africa as a global power. This accident is far from the first time that Chris Brown finds himself in the center of the controversy. Over the years, he participated in a number of incidents that were very announced, many of which included criticism of his behavior and attitudes. Its history, including the assault that was widely published on Rihanna in 2009, cast a long shadow of his career. While he tried to apologize for some of his previous behavior, many believe that he is still abbreviated in showing a deeper understanding of cultural and social issues that not only affect individuals, but the entire societies. Chris Brown also criticized his approach to race, sex, and identity. His statements related to Africa seem to follow this pattern of deafness when it comes to sensitive cultural issues. For celebrities of his position, this type of lack of sensitivity can cause irreparable damage, not only for his reputation, but for relationships that can be strengthened in the future. While the controversy over Chris Brown's response to the call of Tyla was intense, he also gave an opportunity to grow and learn. For artists, especially those who have huge global followers, the responsibility to understand and respect the cultural importance of their actions was never more important. In a world in which social media has hidden sounds and reactions, public figures bear a growing responsibility for participating carefully with their fans. For Chris Brown, this accident can be an opportunity to meditate and grow. The moment can be used to engage in deeper talks about Africa's role in global cultural conversation, especially in music and entertainment. By showing more respect and understanding towards African culture, Brown was unable to repair some damage to this incident, but also strengthened stronger relations with African fans and artists. For Tyla, the situation can be a reminder of the challenges that African artists still emphasize their cultural identity on the world stage. While the accident was disappointing, it also sheds light on the need to treat African voices with respect and recognition they deserve, especially by international stars. In the wake of Chris Brown's sarcastic response to the invitation of Tyla, a conversation was launched in need of cultural sensitivity, respect, and mutual appreciation. As the world continues to adopt the growing influence of Africa, artists and public figures should recognize the strength of their words and actions in shaping the continent's perceptions.